Members, we all get asked that question in interviews as a little softball question of, why do you do this? Why are you here? Why did you run? What makes you stay despite the kind of crazy hours, the frustration, the hair pulling, sometimes the backstabbing? Why do you continue to do this? And we all have sort of like our pat answer that we give. Oh, this is about service and this is about that. You know what answer I really want to give? The answer I really want to give is, I hate bullies. I hate bullies because when I was little, I got bullied relentlessly. See, I'm kind of a tall, big guy right now, but when I was a teenager, when I was a preteen, I was this weird, skinny, short, little Asian kid that maybe to some people looked a little effeminate. Some other people looked like an easy target. But definitely I looked like somebody who couldn't fight back. And so I got my ass kicked on a weekly and sometimes on a daily basis. It happened so many times, I don't even have the ability to separate out all the times when people I didn't even know would just knock me down, would kick me, would punch me. The only one occasion that I actually can recall that was clear to me, that I can recall it because it was separate, was begging them, please stop kicking me in the face. You can kick me anywhere else you want, you can take my stuff, but please stop kicking me in the face, because I would have to explain that to my mom. And I tried to hide it from my parents for a long time. I hid it fairly well, saying that, oh no, I was playing in PE and I got roughed up. I was trying to play football, or I was trying to play basketball, or I fell down. Until the day my mom pulled up to pick me up, and these two much bigger guys were just whipping my ass. I was just on the ground, curled up, and just getting kicked. And my mom saw it. And she asked me, why were they doing that to you? And I said, I have no idea. I don't know who they are. They just came to me and started kicking me. I hate bullies. I hate when we pick on people who cannot defend themselves. I hate when we go after communities that do not have political power and have no voice and do not have the ability to speak up and demand their rights. To me, this legislation is that type of bullying. And I'm not even talking to the members here anymore, because there's no point. I'm talking to the people who are out there, the good people who are watching this, who are standing by, watching this happen. And we've come to this body already and said, look, there is overwhelming medical evidence. There is medical opinion from up and down the spectrum who say that providing gender-affirming care in some form or fashion is the right thing to do. We've told you that the American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry has agreed to this. The American Academy of Pediatrics has agreed to this. The American Medical Association and any number of hundreds of groups in every state in the nation has written in, has called in, has testified to not take away this type of care for young people. Now, there is some disagreement about what is the right form of care, But everyone agrees that there should be some amount of care in this range that this bill will ban that should be allowed. There are thousands of doctors out there. We've told the people here in this room that there are thousands of doctors in the state of Texas and tens of thousands in the United States who have practiced this on a daily basis, who have treated trans kids, who have provided the plan of care, who have gone through this with families. But we don't listen to them. We have told you time and time again that this is a serious suicide hazard. That we don't want to talk about this. And when we had this debate here, we kept saying, well, let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. It is undisputed that LGBT people in America, especially youth, have one of the highest rates of suicide in this nation, period. Over 50% of LGBTQ individuals have contemplated suicide. But it gets worse. Of that number, when you break it down, almost 60% of trans youth, of trans people, have contemplated suicide. The rate of contemplation for suicide for cisgendered LGBTQ individuals is only in the 30s. It is because of trans population that LGBTQ suicide ideation is so high. We have told you this time and time again, but we don't want to talk about it because it's uncomfortable. We have tried to come here and say, hey, the party of small government, the party of freedom, the party of liberty, please don't take freedom and liberty away from other people. And nobody listens. We come here, we say we're here to protect kids. But we very carefully ignore the kids themselves who have come to this body, come to this membership and say, we don't want your protection. We don't want your help. And we don't listen to the families who have come here and say, we understand your concern, but we were happy to make our own choices, to listen to our own doctors, to listen to our own psychiatrists and counselors, and make our own choices. This body doesn't care. We've even argued with them, hey, if you really want to protect kids, maybe we should have more kids vaccinated. This body, no. He said, well, if we really want to protect kids and save their lives, maybe we should work on gun control. Nah. If we really wanted to protect kids and save lives, maybe we should expand Medicaid and make sure there's more families covered under health care. Nah. You think this is the first time that this body has chosen a group, picked out a group to make them into the monsters? To pick out a group to discriminate against? To pick out a group and say, we will come after you? Now, I've been here long enough. We do this all the time. In the past, we did it to Muslim Americans because they were really scary. And we passed laws against them. Then we had refugees. We said, they're really scary. We passed laws against them. And here we are in 2023. And at last, we try to appeal to the morality, to the goodness of this group. We say people who pride themselves on being Christian, we say some of the last words of Jesus were to say, however you treat the very least of my brothers and sisters, you do to me. I can think of few people who are the least in our society than the trans youth and the trans individuals of our state. People who are shunned, people who are ridiculed, people who are discriminated against every single day, even without this body. But it doesn't matter. My appeal is not to the people in this room, because Everyone's going to do what they think is necessary for politics. My appeal is the people out there. My appeal is the good people who are sitting by and watching this happen day after day, watching this community get kicked, watching this community get punched, watching this community get stomped. At some point, it falls upon others who are standing by to say, no, that's enough. That is enough. Stop kicking, stop punching. And as someone who is not trans, who's not LGBT, but who understands what it means to be harassed and kicked and punched for being nothing other than myself, somebody has to be out there to say, stop.